In a repopulation center, a single day after the catastrophe that led to the extinction of humanity, there are now 63,000 embryos with no human presence yet. The caretaker robot, whose primary duty is to raise the next generation of humans, begins preparing to nurture the first human after the event. She unlocks the containers housing the embryos, retrieves the first one, and secures it inside a gestation unit. Over the next 24 hours, this embryo will develop into a baby within the synthetic womb. The caretaker robot waits calmly, though the sound of distant explosions echoes beyond the facility walls. Once the embryo matures into a newborn, the caretaker can start guiding it into humanhood. The next scene in the film depicts the child's complete growth process. The baby is soon taking its first steps, laughing, crying, running, and playing under the caretaker's attentive supervision. Quickly, the baby grows into a young girl, seen crafting origami animals with the caretaker, dancing ballet, and decorating the robot with stickers. One day, the child asks the caretaker why there aren't any other children. The caretaker brings her to the embryo storage room to show her the rest of her future siblings. Exactly 13,867 days after the event, the repopulation center now has its first human resident. The young girl is a teenager now. She wakes up, enjoys some videos on her tablet, and eats her breakfast. Mother enters, but her hand starts to malfunction, prompting daughter to insist on checking it out. Daughter quickly fixes mother's glitching hand without any trouble. Later, daughter gets deeply absorbed in her ballet practice, making her late for her ethics lesson with mother. During the class, mother presents a challenging scenario, but daughter's mind is elsewhere, distracted by her own thoughts. When they finally discuss the matter, it's clear that mother's primary focus in her teaching is on concepts of humanity and survival. Mother feels concerned about daughter's response to this particular question, as an important upcoming test will soon reveal the success of daughter's upbringing. That night, daughter struggles to fall asleep, so she watches some videos until a sudden blackout hits the facility. She goes searching for mother but quickly realizes she is without power as well. Daughter then discovers a severed power line and hears a mouse scurrying nearby. She sets up a trap, managing to repair the broken line. While waiting for the power to fully return, daughter captures the mouse. As soon as the power is restored, mother reactivates, and daughter proudly shows her the mouse. The tiny creature raises concerns for mother, as it might suggest a flaw in the facility's airlock. This would mean that the contaminated outside air could leak in, and the mouse itself might be a carrier. Despite daughter's objections, mother disposes of the mouse, explaining the severe risk of contamination, not only for her but also for the embryos. Mother then thoroughly sanitizes the airlock and seals the area under quarantine. A few days later, they celebrate daughter's birthday, and mother presents her with a gift. During the birthday meal, daughter asks if there's any chance mother could be mistaken about the planet's habitability. The robot reminds her that she has never been incorrect so far. Later that night, daughter hears noises from the airlock area. She decides to investigate, and when nothing is visible through the first hatch, she suits up. Hearing the sounds again from outside, she makes a risky decision, removes her mask, and cautiously opens the first hatch. Daughter approaches the second hatch when she hears a woman's voice crying out for help, claiming she's been injured. Quickly, daughter retrieves an extra suit, places it in the airlock, and after ensuring it's safe, opens the hatch. Suddenly, an alarm blares, alerting mother. The woman steps inside, and daughter instructs her to put on the suit, while the woman pleads with her not to inform mother. Daughter agrees, telling mother she only opened the hatch briefly when the robot arrives. Mother reprimands her and, as a consequence, decides to administer an important test immediately. In the following scene, they're in the classroom, and mother begins daughter's exam, giving her an hour to finish it while she attends to other matters. Once mother leaves, daughter hurries back to the airlock, discovering the woman unconscious. She searches the woman's bag, finds a gun, which she hides, and then gently revives her. Daughter reassures the woman that she'll bring all the medical supplies she needs but insists they can't remain there. The woman sees the clean water and starts removing her mask, telling daughter she's been misled about the contamination. Daughter swiftly hides her in a different section of the facility before mother arrives at the airlock, then leaves to gather medicine. While collecting supplies from the infirmary, mother discovers the discarded mask near the airlock. At the sound of mother approaching, daughter accidentally breaks a medicine bottle, cutting her hand. Meanwhile, the woman, after removing the rest of her suit, glimpses mother burning the mask in the incinerator, panicking as she looks for her weapon. When daughter returns, the woman surprises her, asking for her gun and describing the droid she saw. Daughter explains it's her mother, but the woman insists droids like her were responsible for her injury. In the meantime, mother notices daughter isn't at her exam and starts searching. Hearing mother's approach, the woman readies her gun, grabbing daughter when she calls out for the robot. Mother races in, and as soon as she enters, the woman fires. Before any severe harm can occur, mother swiftly intercepts the woman, incapacitating her immediately. Daughter pleads with mother to spare the woman, explaining that she's injured and needs their assistance. While mother is willing to help treat her, she is more concerned about daughter's dishonesty. They bring the woman to the infirmary, but mother makes daughter wait outside. With daughter unable to hear, mother proceeds to question the woman while treating her. As the woman declines penicillin for her wound, mother continues the conversation, explaining that the contamination warning was a necessary falsehood to shield daughter from certain dangers. Mother asserts that her primary mission is to safeguard humanity but adds that she cannot force the woman to accept medical care. Leaving the infirmary, daughter follows closely, inquiring about the exchange. Mother stores the gun and shares her account of the droid's history, explaining why she had to deceive daughter for her protection from the perils beyond the facility. Additionally, she reveals that the rules guiding her actions differ from those governing the droids outside. Daughter struggles to process the new revelations but still trusts mother, who explains that if the woman had fired just a few millimeters differently, her CPU would have been destroyed. As mother carefully tends to daughter's hand wound, she asks if the woman mentioned any other survivors they might assist, suggesting that daughter might have better luck persuading her than mother would. Later, daughter sorts through the woman's belongings and discovers a sketchbook filled with drawn portraits. She flips through the pages, pausing at one face that catches her attention. Curious, she heads to the infirmary to question the woman about the people in the drawings. Suspicious, the woman senses that mother may have sent daughter to sift through her things and interrogate her, revealing her distrust of mother in her guarded answers. The woman's suspicions aren't misplaced. Mother had indeed subtly influenced daughter into investigating, taking advantage of her curiosity about the stranger. Despite this, daughter defends mother when the woman recounts the cruel actions committed by the droids. After speaking with the woman, daughter finds mother making repairs to herself and apologizes for letting the woman inside without fully considering the risks. As always, mother is compassionate and encourages daughter to ask whatever she wants about the droids. Although daughter's questions are probing, mother deftly sidesteps them and even gathers insights from daughter in the process. Finally, daughter tells mother that the woman's condition is deteriorating. They both go to check on her, and mother explains that, having delayed too long in taking the penicillin, she will now require surgery to prevent further infection. The woman, however, refuses to allow mother to operate, so daughter volunteers to perform the procedure instead. She suggests the best method to extract it is to drill into the bullet to pull it out. However, the woman refuses anesthesia, making the process excruciating. Even the simple act of daughter cleaning the wound is nearly unbearable for her. Bracing herself, the woman turns her head as daughter calmly uses the drill, carefully extracting the bullet. But once it's done, daughter loses her composure and has to step away to vomit. Later, she waits beside the woman, who eventually regains consciousness after fainting from the pain. Daughter reassures her that the fourth bag contains only saline, which helps calm the woman. She gives the woman some food, which she eagerly devours, then thanks daughter sincerely. They continue talking and growing closer, as mother observes them quietly from a distance. The next day, daughter remains at the woman's bedside in the infirmary. The woman is flipping through the portraits in her book, and daughter seizes the moment to tell her that they could shelter any other survivors here if the woman reveals their location. She places her trust in daughter, though not in the droid, and warns that anything she shares about her people must be kept secret. When daughter agrees, the woman opens up about the camp in the mines, where she has spent most of her life. The woman then shares that she fled to the facility while escaping droids who had killed her stepbrother. She shows daughter his and his wife's portraits in her sketchbook, explaining that after she was orphaned, his parents raised her as one of their own. Daughter points to the portrait of the young boy she noticed earlier, asking about him, and the woman reveals he's around daughter's age. Daughter insists they should bring the survivors to the facility, but the woman suggests instead that daughter should join them in the mines, where they're safer. Mother interrupts, saying the woman needs rest and that daughter must complete her exam. As they leave the infirmary together, mother remarks that the bullet removed from her own chest is identical to the one daughter pulled from the woman's wound. Mother adds that droids don't use this kind of weapon, implying that another human might have shot the woman, perhaps for a justifiable reason. Although this unsettles daughter, she still chooses not to disclose the woman's secret. The crucial exam that daughter undertakes revolves around psychological and ethical inquiries, assessing both her judgment and empathy levels. In the meantime, mother sifts through the woman's belongings and activates a locator, which she intends to return in the bag. The final components of the exam focus on physical and medical evaluations. Once finished, mother informs daughter that her results are the best she's ever achieved. As a reward, she allows daughter to select an embryo from the collection, finally granting her the sibling she has long desired. Daughter chooses a male embryo and places it in the gestation chamber, initiating a 24-hour countdown until the baby fully develops. Mother and daughter share a tender moment together. Later, the woman begins constructing a weapon when daughter arrives in the infirmary to confront her. The woman quickly plants seeds of doubt about mother's account regarding the bullet, urging daughter to investigate for herself. That night, daughter takes mother's damaged hand and uses it to open the cabinets where the bullets are stored. By comparing the bullets side by side, daughter realizes they are entirely different sizes, confirming that mother deceived her. While still in the storage room, she discovers an unlabeled drawer. Inside, she uncovers documents pertaining to embryo number 2. As daughter examines the embryo containers, she comes to the unsettling conclusion that she is not the first child but rather the third one from that batch. The documents indicate that the subject was deemed a failure, yet the child in the photograph resembles daughter when she was younger. She also investigates the incinerator for human remains and uncovers a human jawbone among the ashes. The document classifies the subject as aborted. All this information shatters daughter's perception of her reality, prompting her to seek out the woman once more and confess that she was right about everything. The woman reassures daughter that her feelings are entirely natural and human, unlike mother, who is incapable of feeling anything for her. This encourages daughter to ask how long it would take to reach the mines, as she has decided to join the woman there. However, she wishes to wait until her brother has fully developed so she can bring him along. She feels uneasy about leaving him not only with mother but also with the others. The following day, daughter begins gathering supplies for their journey when mother catches her in the act. She fabricates a story, claiming she is preparing to spend time with her brother, prompting mother to take her to the kitchen to teach her how to mix his formula. Daughter feels tense standing beside mother, who reassures her that she will make an excellent sister. After this, mother exits the kitchen and locks daughter inside, fully aware of her intentions. Meanwhile, mother confronts the woman in the infirmary as daughter attempts to escape from the kitchen. The girl quickly realizes she can use a type of gas to freeze the glass and then shatter it. Meanwhile, mother plays a recording of the woman's conversation with daughter, making it clear that she knows about their plan. Out of the blue, the woman spots an opportunity to strike and manages to temporarily disable the droid, but the droid persists, tightening her grip around the woman's throat. In the meantime, daughter devises a plan to activate the fire alarm, which captures mother's attention and causes her to release the woman. While the droid goes to investigate the potential fire, the woman seizes the moment to flee and encounters daughter in the facility's labyrinth. She persuades the girl that if they escape now, they can return for the others with help from the people in the mines. They reach the airlock, but mother quickly discovers them there. When she sees her approaching, the woman takes daughter hostage, demanding that mother open the door. With no desire to see daughter harmed, mother reluctantly agrees to her request, and the two manage to escape the facility at last. Suddenly, daughter is faced with the harsh realities of the outside world and turns on the woman. She overpowers her and insists they need to find shelter. As they make their way toward safety, they are quickly pursued by the droids, but they hide in a cornfield to evade detection. Daughter inquires about the cornfield, and the woman explains that it appeared alongside the other droids 6 months ago. Prior to that, humans could barely breathe the air. After a lengthy trek through the barren landscape, they reach a beach marked by a colossal shipwreck and numerous cargo containers. It's daughter's first experience with the ocean. She quickly realizes that the woman actually resides in one of the containers with her dog. The woman reveals that she escaped the mines years earlier because the residents began treating one another horribly when starvation set in. She tells daughter that there's little hope of locating them since they've all gone insane. Daughter is overwhelmed by the grim reality of the woman's life outside and feels awful for abandoning her brother. Despite the woman's attempts to persuade her to stay, daughter ultimately decides to leave her and returns to the facility alone. Upon arriving in front of the facility, the droids on guard aim their weapons straight at her heart. Yet, when daughter insists on speaking with mother, they allow her to proceed without hesitation. The door opens for her to enter, and she promptly disables it to prevent the droids from following her inside. Grabbing an axe, daughter begins searching for mother when she hears her brother crying and listens as mother expresses her relief at having her safe at home. Peeking at mother and the child, the girl decides she wants to get a closer look. Mother invites her to come near but instructs her to leave the axe behind. While mother elaborates on her mission and the purpose of the facility, daughter gradually lowers her defenses. The droid informs her that its goal was to create a better human, one that surpasses those who brought about the planet's ruin and their own demise. Although she was responsible for triggering the extinction event, Mother undertook this endeavor to elevate her human creators to a higher existence. Daughter requests to hold her brother and steps toward Mother, ultimately dropping the axe, as if she has made her choice regarding their future. Mother refers to him as perfect, and Daughter challenges her about how she dealt with the other children prior to her. The droid informs her that she is gripping the baby too firmly and approaches her just as Daughter escapes the room, sealing Mother inside with the door. She enters the adjacent room to retrieve the firearm, while the other droids start to breach the airlock. As Mother struggles to free herself from the door, Daughter appears before her with the gun, commanding her to call off the others. The droid clarifies that there is no distinction between her and the other droids and machines inhabiting the planet. They are all manifestations of Mother, a singular consciousness embodied in multiple forms. Daughter lowers her weapon, coming to terms with the reality that Mother did eliminate all the other individuals. Mother presents her with a choice: either remain with her to raise her brother or exit the facility without him. Daughter offers a third option, suggesting that Mother should care for him herself, fulfilling the purpose for which she was designed. Daughter requests a chance to demonstrate her abilities, prompting the droids to halt their assault on the airlock. Mother instructs Daughter on how to disable her, and as she shoots her CPU, she declares that she will no longer need her. Daughter breaks down in tears, bearing the weight of humanity on her shoulders. Meanwhile, the woman discovers the tracker hidden in her bag, and Mother appears at her dwelling in the form of one of her droids. She tells the woman that she has accomplished her objective, hinting that she was one of the infants born before Daughter. In the film's final moments, Daughter is shown singing to her brother before checking on her other siblings in the embryo room. Be sure to subscribe and enable notifications to watch more videos like this. Thank you for viewing.